What's good? It's your boy Fannon. Welcome back to the channel. All right, I'm going to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs this morning, and the fact that it is a little bit of a stretch of imagination for you to believe that Daniel Jacobs needs a knockout to get a draw versus Canelo Alvarez, but it's not too much of a stretch. And I'm going to talk about that in this video, and I'm going to show you the proof of why I say it. I say that it is obviously it's not going to be, if he gets a knockout, he's not going to get a draw. He'll get a knockout, but it's going to be very difficult for looking at the past scorecards of Canelo Alvarez for Daniel Jacobs to win this fight unless he absolutely beats the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. And I'm going to go over that. Now, before I do, though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also when we do our live streams, which we do every day, Monday through Friday in the morning, and Sunday, we have a special show, OG Boxing Talk, with myself and one of the best boxing historians on YouTube, Blood Boxing, and also my man KQKC Boxing. So let's chop it up. Also check out the Patreon and check out the last video that I did, which was really a Patreon style video about Dillian White, Lennox Lewis, Spencer Fearon, and all this drama related to Barry Hearn and that stuff. I think you'll like that. But let's get onto this Canelo Alvarez thing. Okay. In this article here, I'm gonna share this screen real fast. And as you see here, let me make sure I'm in the, let me adjust that just a little bit. Okay, so you see here in this, this is the article that I'm talking about that I'm going to respond to. Keith Idec in this article says Daniel Jacobs just laughed when the preposterous proposition was proposed to him. That's a lot of P's there, huh? No, the IBF middleweight doesn't feel like he needs a knockout to secure a draw with Canelo Alvarez on Saturday night. But he does want to talk about fair treatment from the judges, okay? And this is why I think this is important. I think that this is important to talk about, because there is absolutely positively a clear pattern of in Canelo Alvarez fights where Canelo Alvarez, and we're going to start with this fight right here, the earliest one. This is the Austin Trout fight. We're going to look at the scorecards for the Austin Trout fight. Let me see if I can pull this up, just, maybe expand it a little bit. See if we can get that, see that a little more clearly. Okay, this was, and I'm just going to review the fight cards for the controversial scorecards for Austin Trout. Okay, I mean for Canelo Alvarez. And what I think you'll see is a pattern where there's one ref that really is an outlier. Most times we think about this particular scenario just happening with the Gennady Golovkin one fight, but it's something that you've seen that I've seen and witnessed in several fights, in which I really do believe lead to the reputation that Canelo has from getting some gift decisions. Now, I have to say, I think Canelo Alvarez is a tremendous fighter, and I think obviously the skill level that he has makes it difficult for anybody just to run the table on him. But still, this is the reason why people say this. As you see here, you have Lawrence Cole as a referee in the fight between Austin Trout and Sal Alvarez. I do believe this was for Austin Trout's 154-pound title after he had beaten Miguel Cotto. And you see that you have scorecards of 115, 112, 116, 118, 109, and 116, 111. Now, 115 and 112. I mean, it's still a wide score, and it's a wider score than I thought. I thought it was a very, very close fight, but all three of the judges are in agreement that Canelo wins the fight. But two of them, Rand Danseco and Orange Schellenberger, are both within one round of each other. 115, 112, 115, 116, 111. If they change it either way, they're within they're within the same range. But here you have Stanley Christodoulou at 118, 109. And this is where I have my personal opinion. Hell no to that scorecard. There is no way that fight was that wide. But see, that's the first instance where you have that wide of a scorecard for Sal Alvarez. So let's go to the second fight. After the Alston Trout fight, that's when he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let's see if we can bring this up just a little bit. Okay, that's easier to see. Now, in my opinion, the way that I scored this fight, I didn't give Canelo Alvarez a round in that fight. Okay, I didn't give him a round. And I don't think that it was realistic to give him more than one. Okay, more than one. But you have two, again, you see this outlier thing. You have Dave Moretti scoring at 116, 112. Craig Metcalf, 117, 111. Now here is the hell to the no with CJ Ross, a draw. There is, again, I am not the type of person, and I want to be very clear, I am not arguing about the outcome of the fights because I do believe that that is a dangerous trap for a boxing fan to get into, especially if you have to talk about multiple fights with the same people. Because one time somebody's robbed, the next time they're not robbed. At the end of the day, you walk away, you got to respect the judges. But this scorecard right here for CJ Ross, that's another outlier, right? Two scorecards again where they are close to one another and there is no outlier, right? So let's on to the next fight that he had. After these are all, and I believe these are all of the close fights that they had. After that, he fights Erislandy Lara. I'm going to get that name properly pronounced. Okay. And we see the same thing again. We see an outlier and the outlier is for Canelo, right? These are the close fights. The outliers for Canelo. Dave Moretti, 115, 113. Jerry Ross, 115, 113 the other way. Close fight. Close fight. It could have switched either way. They could have judged it. They could have one round either way for Dave Moretti or Jerry Roth, and that fight is a draw. One round either way. That could be a draw on that particular scorecard. But here is the outlier: 117, 111 for Levi Martinez. Hell no. Okay. That is the problem with Canelo. That's the problem. And this is why Canelo Alvarez has this reputation. Now let's go to the most famous one, right? Nobody cared though. Now let's get this right here. Okay. Nobody raised the stink about this one, right? Nobody raised the stink about this one. Nobody raised the stink about 118, 109 when it's Austin Trout. Hey, that just went on ahead. Okay, yeah, that's one outlier, right? Nobody said anything about that one. Okay, very few people said anything about this outlier here, CJ Ross. Very few people said anything about that. Then this outlier, very few people said anything about Levi Martinez. No, very few people. But this is where it hit the fan. This is where it hit the fan. When you once again have an outlier, 118 and 110, where Don Trella has a draw. Dave Moretti, if he would have given one more round to Canelo Alvarez, would have had it a draw, right? But notice, neither one of these guys scored the fight for Sal Alvarez, but then Adelaide Byrd, famously, who's suspended and all kind of people want her head on a platter. 118, 110, hell no. That was obviously a wide scorecard. Again, I respect the outcome of the fight, but still, this is something that is, maybe I can go through it this way. I can. This is what is this, a 117, 111? It's the same scenario this is the same scenario for Canelo Alvarez in the Erislandy Lara fight. It's the same scenario. But then when all the stuff hits the fan, and people start getting suspended, and people or not suspended. I don't think she got suspended. I just think that they gave her a rest, whatever you want to call it. Oh, the outlier disappears. After Larry Merchant and all these guys throw a fit. Now, mind you, not Larry Merchant, the same HBO people were there for the other outlier cards, but on Gennady Golovkin, they pitched a fit. Now, to me, this wasn't even close. This fight wasn't even a close fight. This wasn't even a close fight. I just think that the media intimidated them enough where they didn't give Sal Alvarez a much wider score. Because I think Canelo Alvarez won this thing easily. So the question is, will the trend continue on with Daniel Jacobs? This trend right here, where the judges are scared to overdo it for Canelo, or will the past trend, gosh, how can I change this? Will the past trend continue, where they are giving these one-sided scorecards? We'll see. So anyway, I just wanted to go through that. And for people that like to bet on boxing, man, seriously, man, you got to take these type of things in consideration. Okay, I'm not yelling all out corruption. I think it very well could be a style thing. Canelo Alvarez is a heck of a fighter, man. I got him as my number 1B pound for pound fighter in the world. You know, only reason I might not have him as number 1A is because of the Combuterol issue. But look, man, this is a real thing with Canelo in these scorecards, man. In these close competitive fights. Austin Trout was way closer than that. I think Erislandy Lara beat him. I would have scored for Erislandy Lara beat him. Floyd Mayweather Jr., come on, man, that was nobody's draw. I don't see it, but I respect the cards. And even the reverse of it with the Canelo Alvarez Gennady Golovkin 2 fight is interesting. Anyway, that's my thing. That's what I got to say on the matter. Check me out in the next video. Also, subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, I'm out. Peace.